Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to Generation. How is everybody doing on this Sunday? Hey, come on. What they say, come on in the room. Come on. So, happy Mother's Day. I have a special guest with me on this Mother's Day. Usually it's my daddy next to me, but I have the lovely, as you guys call her, Lady Dion,
Good
sitting next
evening. Good
here.
evening. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you
Thank you for
too.
having me on this evening on Generation to Generation
Yes,
podcast.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for coming on
Yes.
this good old Mother's Day. All right. Go share it to my page. How's everybody doing?
Yeah. What did some folks do today? What are they still
Yeah.
doing today?
Right. I'm sharing. Sorry guys, I'm sharing. All right. Happy Mother's Day. All right. Okay. Come on in here, y'all. Again, welcome to Generation. This is a special broadcast on today. We are with the lovely Lady Dion, and we're celebrating Mother's Day as
Yes.
everybody is. How are you guys' Mother's Day? How was you guys' Mother's Day? So we're gonna get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get
Yeah.
into it.
Let's talk.
All right. So, hmm, who's that? Oh, so okay.
Turn phones down in the studio.
Yes, turn it down because we lie. We lie. All right. So, when did you become a mother? I became a mother at 20. I got pregnant at 19 and became a mother at 20. And my dad often talks about that's when I didn't listen to him and I went on about my way. When did you become a
Yes.
mother?
And that's good that he's not here on the show to add lib to that, right?
Right. Because you know he
Right.
would. He be ready. He always be trying to talk about always be talking about me every time he talks.
Yes, because he said that's a lesson and wisdom that you can impart to someone else when you talk about what you went through.
Yeah.
But I know for us, it's hard to talk about it, and you don't always want to bring that back up. And then you get on here, and then every Sunday, Dad is saying, "Jasmine, remember when you was
Yeah.
20?"
Every right, like literally. So,
Yes.
I'm just it's okay, because I learned a lot,
Mhm.
and I think during that time, of course, you kind of you want to be grown a little bit, kind of do your own thing, and in my case, I guess, looking back, um, maybe it was the identity thing too. You know what I mean? Just kind of
Yeah.
trying to find a way outside of who my daddy is,
Yes.
because
Outside
I'm
of
a
the
PK
PK, the preacher kid,
and,
the expectation that is
yep,
upon you.
yep. And so just trying to be out here and be grown and like my daddy don't know nothing and, and then bam, there it is. But, 16 years later, I have my beautiful son. So, you know, all wasn't
And
I wasn't lost. You
yes,
go through it, you learn, and so I learned a lot, experienced a lot, and um,
and you got a lot to tell.
yeah, and raising him,
Mhm.
on my own for a while, and then got married to TJ, and we raised him, and he's a great young man, and so I'm blessed.
And the rest is history. And it's unfortunate that everyone's story doesn't turn out like that.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, it
Yeah.
there's so many mothers and especially younger mothers who
Hmm.
don't have someone of, as we say, a village
Yeah,
to really help them and rear them to where they need to be, or to the point of, how do I do this? and
definitely.
and though no one really has the master book
Hmm.
of raising children. If you did have someone who's been through it before, they can kind of tell you, well, don't use Huggies, use Pampers,
Right, right.
diapers. Or don't,
Yeah.
back in the old days, it was
Mm-hmm.
Similac formula. All the
Yep. And then
babies
all the
had
old folks,
Similac.
they had
Yeah,
them remedies. We be
right.
ready to go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Woo out the bam. Them old folks like,
Mm-hmm.
girl, just get blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Yeah, I love. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's good for this time for the podcast generation to generation, because I was 17 when I had my son, who is now 40.
Okay.
He is now 40, and so back during that time when I was 17, then I did have, my mom, I had my grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
um, at the time, my mother-in-law, to
Hey,
help
Deandra. Hey, Mary.
to say, hey, this is what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so gross, but this generation to generation, it tells you how it came up. There's a thing called like thrash on the tongue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so back in the day, they were
Oh
cloth
Lord.
diapers, and so you had to
Yeah.
put the
Ugh, I
diaper
don't know
on
how
with the
y'all could
safety
use those.
pins. And then when the baby had thrash, my grandmothers, and that went down to my mom, they would take that diaper after the baby potty or had the urine, not the BM, but the urine, and they wiped the tongue with it. And they said,
Wow.
yeah, this is to take the thrash off of the tongue.
That's one I've never heard. Did it work?
I don't know.
You don't
I
remember?
guess. I
I've heard about
don't,
using it for
I don't
like
even know.
what do you like when a baby like breaks out and like bumps or
They
in hives, and when a baby breaks out in hives, because I
obviously,
used to do it all the time. Who told me that? I don't know if it was Granny. I don't know who it was, but I used to do it when they had hives, so it might have
you
worked.
had cloth diapers or
Oh
Pampers by
no no no
then?
no
Okay,
no no no
see,
no no.
generation to generation. So
Ain't nobody doing
yeah,
no cloth.
yeah. But the cloth diapers were pretty good. I
And then you
actually
wash them
liked
all.
them.
See,
If they
it's too
weren't
much.
too damaged, then you wash them, soak them in bleach, even if it wasn't too bad. And look, this is generations. We
Mm-mm.
talking about way back when,
I could
and the
do it.
time
Woo.
before that, where the grandparents, they had scrub boards, and they had to
Mm-hmm.
scrub that and make it. So by the time my son Gerald was born, 1982, then they had kind of, I remember they were called bird seed or something. They kind of formed them for you, but you didn't have to know how to fold them. So they kind of already were pre-folded.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just have to put them in there with the safety pins, and then put them little plastic rubber covers, diaper covers over it. But yeah, I washed them. I washed
Who
them.
child?
Yes,
Who
I
child?
washed
Who
them.
all use cloth diapers? Cause
Yeah.
I know they
Mm-hmm.
still do. I think they still have them though.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard of people, they would prefer using them, which I don't
Yeah.
know why, but no,
Yeah.
I'd rather don't roll it up, throw it away,
Right.
and
And
be
then
done.
what we say, as the second child comes, you just toss all that first stuff that you were
Right.
doing just right on. Wear the Huggies, wear the
Right.
Pampers, you know,
Exactly. Yep.
in the whole 9 yards. So I had 17. I had my daughter
Mhm.
at 20.
Okay. Okay.
And then I had the youngest at 30, because
Mhm.
one daughter, so Gerald, DeAndre, and Aaron, but DeAndre and Aaron are 10 years apart.
Oh, okay.
So by the time Aaron comes along, it's like having a whole new thing about what is pregnancy. How do you do
Right.
this? How do you
Right.
go through it all over? So it was a whole different start over for
Mhm.
him, because you had cloth diapers with Tremaine. Okay, Dad had cloth
Mm.
diapers with Tremaine, and
Oof.
so did you wipe his mouth out for um, thrash?
No.
Okay,
Listen,
maybe
I
he
wasn't
didn't
doing
have
none of
it.
that.
Maybe he didn't have thrash. Maybe that's why. Because I'm sure
You
some
tried cloth
grandmamas
diapers,
know about
Mary?
it.
I clean her face for heat rash. Yeah, cloth diapers. So how did you? So I mean, what was your experience, Mary, with cloth diapers? Did you? I don't know if I could say enjoy them, but
Yeah. How was your experience with them? How was the cloth diapers versus the Pampers and the Huggies?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Mm-mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bit
But
much
by
for
the
me.
time the youngest one came, I wanted to be a good mom because the first two kind of grew up with me.
Uh-huh.
And so you feel a little inadequate. Did I do it right? What I didn't do? So when
Yeah.
he came along, there was all these books saying what to expect when you're expecting, the first years of the baby. So
Mm-hmm.
I was doing everything by the book. I even breastfed him.
Oh, so how was your experience with that?
It was rough, but I nursed him to almost a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, until he
Okay,
started
that's
getting teeth.
good.
And then you know that story about when they get teeth, they
Right.
think, yeah, no, this is not that. So no,
Right.
you can't. Mm-mm. And it was so funny to tell you this, and we'll move on. So
Oh, with
I
Marcus. Okay.
I recall with the youngest, which he's 27 now, I think. Yeah, he's 27. And so my mom came over and she said, "Oh, I'm going to stay with you and help you with the baby," right? And I said,
Uh,
"Okay." Well, she can't help in a sense because I'm nursing. So
right.
every time I would try to go to sleep and she'd come and just put him there. So either way you got to get up. So it's a tougher time when you're nursing versus the bottle because you can
Mm-hmm.
just give the baby to the daddy or what have you,
Right.
until
Right.
I learned to start pumping,
Mm-hmm.
and then I could prepare the bottles. But
Mm-hmm.
they want you for so many weeks or months or whatever to not put them on the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a whole nother experience.
Yeah, child.
Yes.
I tried it. I tried it. I don't think I tried. I didn't try it with Malachi. I don't know. Magi. I can't remember if I tried it with him. I think I tried it with Terriana. I got maybe a few weeks in, and I was like, no, can't do it. And then with the twins, I did it with Tristan, and then Terry. After he was born, he went like to the NICU. So he was in the NICU for a while. What? Maybe almost a week. Dad, I think, if I remember correctly. And so I had Tristan, and then Terry, I pumped for a little bit, and then I did it a little bit when we were at home, but it was a little tougher with twins. Trying to figure out like the times that they, when they hungry, because yeah, and then it got to just be too much. I was like, you know what? Nope, we're gonna get these
Hmm.
bottles because it's too much. One thing, when I was pregnant with him, when I was having I think I went to an appointment or something, and the doctor was like, "Oh, she said something. She was like, basically, oh, she was like, how many do you have kids? And I'm like, yeah, I have three. Oh, she's like, oh, okay, well, you a pro, ma'am. No, I'm
Right.
not. Like you
Right.
said, like this is new, and then I have twins. I don't
Right.
like.
What
I
do you
feel like
do
I
with
gotta
them?
learn
Hmm.
everything over again. So having twins is definitely an experience for
Yeah.
sure. Like, whew.
And I can't even imagine that being, you know, I talk to folks all the time that have twins, and you hear two sides of the story. Oh, yeah, they're so cute. It's a joy. But you hear that other side, like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
But, just like we were speaking about today, they're 5
Yeah.
and they're coming into their own where they're understanding that you have rules to follow, even at
Mm-hmm.
5
Mm-hmm.
and what have you. And so they're really coming into their own and becoming big boys. So that helps when you have older siblings. They seem to grow up a lot faster.
Yeah, for sure. So they want to do everything the older kids do,
Mm-hmm.
getting their own stuff, and Tristan, he's very impatient. He wants
Mm-hmm.
what he wants right now. He doesn't want to
Mm-hmm.
wait. So if we take too long, he trying to figure it out himself. Like, oh, okay, well, I get it myself. So yeah, it's a very different experience with twins, just from being pregnant with them, because like Terry, he had like a malformation in the back of his head, and you remember, and
Mm-hmm.
then we had care here in Rockford, and then
Mm-hmm.
we had to transfer care to
In
Chicago,
Chicago.
so we were
Mm-hmm.
going back and forth. We having doctor's appointments here, doctor's appointments in Chicago, and it was just so much. I was
Right.
over it. I was like, you know
Yeah.
what, y'all, I'm over. Take these twins,
Yeah.
because I'm ready. I'm ready to, because I got to
Yeah.
get these babies on out.
Yeah. So we're gonna wait to see how many viewers have twins. But I wanted to ask. So you were 20 when you
Hmm.
had your first. How old was your mother when she had you?
Um, I don't know. Dad, how old's mom? Y'all had to be in y'all 20s, right? Y'all was in your 30s?
Because we're talking about generations of generations,
Yeah.
and we were speaking about my generations. So my
36.
grandmother was 13.
29. She was
Okay, so
29.
that was
Okay, 9 years
good.
older than me.
So my grandmother was 13. My
Mm-hmm.
mom was 15. I was 17. So now that we're getting older and we're coming up through the generations, we're looking at DeAndre like, okay, you got to break the cycle.
Right, right.
One daughter, you could do this. You have two
Mm-hmm.
brothers, but you're the one girl, so you have to do it. So she was 20 when
Okay,
she had her
okay,
first, the same age I was when I had her.
okay.
And so it's just amazing also how the two younger um, of my three, are 10 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
The oldest has two boys. They're 10 years apart.
Oh, wow.
The daughter, DeAndrea, she has two girls.
Mm-hmm.
They're 10 years apart. So the youngest, Aaron, has one girl. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, so you know what that means, right?
Right,
She's three.
right.
You got 7 more years before. But it's just amazing how
Yeah,
generations,
right.
how those
Yeah.
things just do. So we would find out how old was your mother's mother when she had her first.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Just
ask her.
thinking back, going through the generations.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask her. Okay, so comments, let's see.
Who else have twins?
Um, okay. Mary said, okay, with Marcus, she used cloth diapers. She lasted a few months, 5 months, then used them for burp cloths.
Yeah, yeah, birth cloths. You're right.
Okay. Um, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Do I have any friends that have twins? I don't think so. Yeah.
We can't
Oh,
think of anyone right now, but there are so many folks we know who have twins. I'm
yeah.
telling you, we just can't
Right.
think about them right now at the moment. But motherhood is an amazing experience,
It is.
especially when your children become adults and you see them come into their own and see them have families and grow.
Mhm.
For us, we're older, so
Right.
you're going to see that.
Yeah.
You're getting a
Yeah.
glimpse of it, but you're going to see that it will be so rewarding. And so I try to encourage mothers, especially young mothers,
Mhm.
to be patient. And you really do. Like some folks say, oh, I'm mad, I don't need anybody, I want to move away. And then you're going to move away and you're going to be by yourself, and then when you do need just even a few minute break, you have no one,
Yeah.
because who is there? And so I think I used to say a joke that if you're going to have kids,
Mhm.
especially later in life, thank God for them older kids, because they could be a real blessing
I'm telling you, cause
with
I thank
helping
God
out.
for mine, cause woo, I wouldn't know what I would do without them.
Mhm.
So
So we were talking earlier today. What
Mary
are
said that she has twins in her family.
some of the challenges of being a teen mom? Well, one of the things we were talking about earlier
Ooh.
today during Morning Glory was that the shame that comes with it,
Mhm.
because behind the scenes it's okay, but now you got to walk out in the street, everybody seeing your belly saying, uh-oh, and I know
Right.
she's not pregnant. And for you, that's the pastor's kid.
Right. Right.
That's Bishop
And it
Center
ain't make
daughter.
it. Listen, it didn't make it no
Hmm.
different because um I tried to hide. I had tried to hide it when because I was living in Chicago or in the suburbs with my aunt, and then I ended up moving back. My dad ended up coming to give me, stuff transpired. My dad ended up coming to give me. I came back, and so then I had to go to church, and I felt so ashamed. And so you trying to wear big clothes and other, and maybe one or two people might have
Them
known and
old folks see it
whatever,
in your face.
but then Pastor Center,
Mhm.
he preaching. And then he get on the mic and he just say he I don't forgot what he said, but he's like something about my daughter pregnant or something like that, and said, "Well, I'm a daddy first, and before I'm a pastor, that's just a title, da da da." And I just my world just in that moment, like I just felt like all eyes was just on me,
Hmm.
and I was just so hot. I was
Open
like,
up the
"Oh my
floor and
god!"
just sink down in.
I said, "Really?" I'm like, really? So now we just gonna tell everybody. I was just like, but in the when I look at it, I guess I don't like that he did it that way, but I mean whatever. But I'm glad that he did it that way to bring it out, because a lot of people still embraced me. It was still some that of course turned their face in and whatever, but it was a lot of women and mothers that embraced me and told me it was gonna be okay, and although and all of that. And so the shame that I did have, I no longer had as much shame anymore because being embraced, and I didn't
Hmm.
have to, you know, go in front of the church and say, well, this is what I did and I'm sorry, or whatever they used to do back in the day. Thank God,
Right,
I didn't have to do that.
right. And so, but so we say you you really weren't a teen when you
Right.
went a teen mom. You were
Yeah.
almost an adult.
Mhm.
So that was good. But some of the challenges as being a young mom is resources sometimes too.
Yeah.
Like if you can't depend upon your parent now fully because you're a mother, you have to make the provision. You have to make the way
Mhm.
for the child. And back then at 17, there were a lot of resources.
Mhm.
And there was the Women, Infant, and Child, the WIC program. There was, the food stamp card or papers, whatever they gave you back then.
Mhm.
There was, everyone had, you can get Medicaid like easily. You didn't have to show all your proof and get letters to say somebody give you $100 to help you out with your bills. You didn't have to do all of that, but
Mhm.
it was still the fact that you had to go and sit in the lines and, apply to all of the resources in order to help you.
Mhm.
And I'm grateful for my life in the path because it could have been worse, but I still went to school. I graduated
Mhm.
pregnant,
Mhm.
and that was a challenge because back then it wasn't heard of.
Yeah.
People were getting abortions
Mhm.
opposed to the shame you're not
Yeah.
having no kid, you getting out of high school.
Right.
But I was pregnant, and I think it was three of us, two or three, that ended up being pregnant at the time of graduation. But you know, those were the challenges of being a teenage mother, going to
Mhm.
school, finishing school. You're not feeling well. Your body's changing. You don't understand the changes,
Mhm.
but you still have to finish school.
Mhm.
So I did graduate. I went on to graduate college, and it was just in the beginning a challenge, but I did have a support system,
Mhm.
and so that helped in a lot of ways. And we were talking, just to go back a little bit, is that at 17, 13, 15, 17, 16, 17, that is so young to be giving birth to a
Yeah.
baby
Yeah.
when you think about what the body goes through
Right.
and the change all the body goes through to have a baby. My experience of giving birth at 17 was absolutely horrible.
Yeah. I could
It
only
was the most
imagine.
horrible experience. But I was telling Dad, we were watching Dr. Center, we were watching a movie, and I was saying that women go back and have babies because they forget the pain. The pain of childbirth is something that you can't remember. Because if we did, we wouldn't have any more kids. I
Exactly.
would never have ever had another kid after all the pain I went through.
Ooh, child.
The next two births were easier, but that first one, hmm, Jesus.
My God, my God. So do you think that now, like since the times have changed, now with ladies becoming pregnant young, teenagers, is there's a different type of I don't know the word for it, but there's like a different thing, like okay, when you were 17, it was it was shame. When even
Hmm.
me when I was 20, I was shame. But
Yeah.
now,
Mm-mm. It's not.
they're just,
It's not
having kids, and
because
we
the grandmothers
congratulating
are
them.
younger.
Yeah, that's true.
And so the mamas, so the kids are 16, the mamas are 26 or something. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like they're
yeah,
young. And
yeah.
so they're like, oh, yeah, my baby having a baby.
Hmm.
Like it's really something to be proud of. And yes, all births are destined by God. God chooses women to be mothers, all of this thing, but that's still too young.
Mary said, "I don't know, lady. I remember mine."
It's so funny, but you have four.
Right, but you still had kids
You would have stopped
afterwards.
at the first one. That's something about that pain, though. You do kind of forget, but I know. Yep, they celebrate now. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. You're right,
But
Mary. They
it's a
do.
different time, and so now it's more looked at as a rite of passage. Oh, my daughter, she's 13, y'all, and she pregnant. Yeah, a rite of passage.
Yeah.
It's not
But then, you have shows, and I'm not down in the show or
right,
anything,
right.
but you have teen shows and stuff like that kind of quote unquote like glamorize
Yeah,
it, or, or
like Teen
whatever.
Moms, just
Yeah.
to show what they call it, Teen
And
Moms.
I like that show. I ain't gonna, I like it. I like the show, but still, I think, that may can be like, oh, I just feel like it's just more okay. It's okay.
And
It's
that's
just okay
their
for these.
life. You have to remember that that's
Okay.
not your life. And Mary had two C-sections and she went back after the
Two
first one.
C-sections. Ooh.
Mercy.
I thank God
Yes.
I never have to have a C-section, but I've heard
Right. Yeah. And it could be,
ooh,
it
the pain
depends.
is.
Everyone is different. Because, I've seen some folks I had this lady we lived next to, she had a C-section and next week she was playing volleyball.
Oh wow.
So
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Everyone is different.
everyone is
So,
different. We were like, what the world?
oh
She said, oh, yeah, I just got the
child.
basketball court.
Oh my.
But overall, it's a joy
Yeah,
to
it
be a
is.
mother.
It
It
is.
is a joy to be a mother. And I'm thinking, I thank God for choosing women. And it's amazing how, like, why did you choose the women? But that goes back to Adam and Eve because a man couldn't go through the
Oh,
pregnancy, let alone the
absolutely
delivery.
not. Absolutely
What you
not.
said, Dr. Center? What you said?
Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
so but yes, but anyway, today was a good day. I hope
Yeah,
you enjoyed your day. We
I
went out
did.
to Ambiance Cuisine
Yes.
and Cocktails and we got
Yes.
food wasted.
Yes, for sure. We was all at that table like, okay, it's time to go. We're
Time for a
tired.
nap. Yes, if she had
Got
a
that
little
good old
cushion,
itis.
we would have been right there. But hats off again to Tisha Hannah.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
very well done. Very well
Yes.
done.
For sure. For
Yes.
sure.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, thank you
So,
for having me.
yes, thank you so much for coming on. It was so good
Yes.
to have you.
Yes. And we're gonna
Yep. So now we're going to have my daddy come on so we can bring on our guests. We're having another guest for the evening. You guys, so we're gonna do a little switcheroo. But while that's getting set up, I again want to say Happy Mother's Day,
yes.
and thank you again for coming. It was good to hear part of your story.
Mhm.
Really nice to hear other women's story and things like that. And so,
Right.
you are a
And
testament
yeah,
to
we all have
other women
struggles.
for
None
sure,
of us are perfect. There
for
is no
sure.
mother handbook.
No, it's not, because if it was, I would have it.
Yes,
Like, what I
absolutely.
supposed to do when he do this? What I supposed to do with that?
Absolutely. Yes.
So
So we're gonna go to 30 seconds as we get Ferris on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back.
We're back.
That was an interesting segment with Lady D
Yes.
and Jazzamon, as Granny used to say. She didn't say Jasmine, she said Jasmine.
Oh, Granny.
Granny, Jasmine. How you doing, Jasmine? Jasmon. Jasmine.
Oh, Granny.
Hey, everybody. So hit your share buttons and invite somebody in. I know y'all out trying to have y'all Mother's Day mimosas.
Oh, yes.
I'll get macaroni and cheese wasted. Happy Mother's Day. Keep that same energy
Same
next
energy.
month. God bless you and may God keep you is my prayer. Amen.
Amen.
Right. So we're bringing on Ferris Julian Center. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
he is the second eldest of the family. And we're bringing him on for interview. Let's see if we can get him up today. Hello, Batman. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
What up? Can you hear
Batman
me?
and the Sox fan. Two for one.
Can you hear me?
Do you got to turn it up? Don't turn it up on your
Ooh,
phone.
let me
Hello.
see.
It's the
Wait
yo
a minute,
knobs,
Ferris.
right?
Oh, there he is, right
Yeah,
there.
we hear
We
ya.
got you. How you doing, Ferris? All
Good.
right, very good.
I was
So
ready for a
Ferris is
nap.
in Dallas and about ready for. I had my church nap today,
Oh,
bro.
them church now be tough.
I got a T-shirt, a
Glorious.
sweatshirt that say "After Church Naps."
I need one.
Yeah.
Is that laundry?
That's actually a gym bag. You don't know nothing about that.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's okay. You're right. I don't, but I'm going to the gym, so don't play with it because I'm finna get it together. Quit playing with me. Just wait on it. Just wait on it.
All right. So we've got Ferris here. He is we're saying second eldest of the family. He one of the unique features about him is since he was old enough to walk, he would tear up the hangers in the house, especially the ones with the white piece piece on the hangers you put your
Mm-hmm.
pants on.
Mm-hmm.
He would tear them up, go in the kitchen, get the pots, turn the pots on upside down,
Mm-hmm.
and play drums on the pots.
Mm.
Like he did that, like till yeah. So we had no hangers, no pots. So when he actually got to a drum set, he actually went up to the drum set and played the drums
Mm. Okay.
from
All
paying
right.
the plus. He's an adult now and working. I just thought about sending him the bill for them
Mm-hmm.
hangers and those
And
pots.
you should. And you should, as you should.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're a rock star now.
Oh yes.
You see how old people get?
Yeah. So he's a church boy. He's been playing drums, excellent musician, and now what's going on with you and music and your craft and your where are you? What are you doing? What's happening with you?
I um I released my first song this year. I've been writing
Woo
Hey, hey,
seriously.
hey,
woo.
hey, hey.
Um, I've been writing seriously since 2008, maybe. Just been writing and writing, and I actually released my first song this year. Um, Working on the next one. Going to record my
What's the
church
name of it?
choir. Release Your
Oh
Victory.
What's the name
nice.
of the release your victory?
Yes,
All right,
featuring Rosalind
nice.
Sanders
Download it.
drums. Go buy it. You can stream it, but I prefer you to buy it because yeah, we'll talk
Okay.
about streaming
Okay.
money later. That's terrible, but
Mm.
yeah. So I've just been I've focused more on the writing side. I used to want to be on stage playing, but writers make more
Mm-hmm.
money. They make a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot
Yeah,
more
for
money.
sure. Oh
Um,
yes. I need some of them coins when
yeah.
you get them too.
Well, go ahead and start
It's a
writing.
blessing when you look in your account and that ASCAP has hit. Boom! Writers
Yes,
royalties.
it
I
is.
love him.
Yeah. So that's my goal. Is just I want to get it out. I'm not really focused on Texas, but I would love to know that my song is in Africa or Europe or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
which would be really awesome to me. Growing up in Chicago, I
Yeah,
kind of seen
that'd be
guys
dope.
who were famous in Chicago but nowhere else. But then they left Chicago
Mm-hmm.
and then they blew up all over the world. So I would love to hear someone or get an email, hey, I want to re-record your song. I've heard it. Or hey,
Hmm.
your song really blessed me. Like, thank you so much. And I have no idea who they are. Like that would be really awesome.
Hmm.
What's gonna happen?
That's beautiful. So speak to that idea of um yeah, where can we purchase the song?
Yes.
It is available everywhere, actually. YouTube, wherever you stream
I like
music,
that.
it's available. It's available everywhere. I paid the money for it to be available everywhere. So even places I've never heard of, it's on there. You can type my name in, or you can type "Release Your Victory," and it should pop up. Make sure you spell my name right though. Farris, the Ferris Center, Ferris Julian
How about
Center.
that?
Actually, get all of it. Spell it right.
Okay, all right.
Jasmine, did you buy my
Put some
song yet?
respect on your name.
I
I
need
got
you and
it.
all your kids to buy my song. I need you and all your kids to buy my song now. Even the twins.
Mm, even the twins. Okay.
Them
Even
some
the
orders right
twins.
there, bro.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. Mm-mm.
So what was the process behind Release Your Victory? But how did you come up with that?
um, I wrote this song at New Hope. Like so I think I wrote it on the keyboard
What
first.
is
And
New
then
Hope?
I
New
New
Hope
Hope
is
in
New Hope
Albuquerque,
is
Bishop
where?
Cooper. Albuquerque, New Mexico, Bishop
Hmm.
Cooper. I wrote this song on a motif in the sanctuary first. Um, then I wrote the words. And most of my friends are singers, musicians. So I had friends like sing it back to me, um, and did a rough demo. And I was playing the music in the sanctuary, and people would come to me and be like, "That's really awesome! Like that's really really amazing." And it set for a long time after that. Um, I moved to Texas, and I gave it to musicians that I was playing with, and the keyboard player, the one that's playing the keyboards on it now, he did it first. He put the keyboards down for me, and
Mm.
when he sent me what he played, I cried because it was like I left Albuquerque for this moment. Um, I
Wow.
in 2016, I left Albuquerque. I came to Texas to visit one of my friends in July, and I was living here in August. And so I left everything I
Wow.
created for myself, the name I created for myself, I left it all and moved to Dallas. And years
Mm.
later, everything that I went through with moving, um, it was just like, wow. Um, so I believe in giving God something to bless. And so my
Mm.
faith, I had to do something. So I
Yeah.
packed my car. I ended a relationship. I packed my car and I came to Dallas and I was sleeping on the couch, one of my friend's house, and he had two boys and everybody a musician. And I'm the one that had to get up in the morning and go to work. So I'm on the couch like, oh, Lord Jesus, let him go to sleep, please, Jesus. Let him go to sleep.
Right.
So
I remember that
moving in,
time in your life when you moved, you left like it almost seemed like abrupt. Like you went to Dallas for
yeah,
a visit, as you said. You went back. You were living in a house. You gave stuff away. You brought back what you could bring back, and that was the end of Albuquerque. And it was like Dallas.
yeah,
Here I am, and just left trusting God. Man, that was an
yeah,
amazing journey. The faith journey can be disruptive, it can be abrupt. It can look like it makes absolutely no sense.
yeah, yeah. And to most people, it like my I've made my name. For me, Albuquerque is where I grew up. Like it's where I matured.
Mm-hmm.
It's where so in Chicago I played black gospel music. That's what I knew. When I lived
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
in Albuquerque, I became a musician because I played everything. I was forced out of my comfort zone. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
then I just like I said, I made a name for myself. I did stuff for free. People did stuff for me for free. There are churches that I could walk in, and they're mega churches, and the pastor knows my name, be like, "Hey, Ferris, how you doing?" That was so amazing to me. That was really, really awesome. And you talk about a guy that would not play I Am a Friend of God when I moved to Albuquerque. I hated it, would not play it. And I was on a
Mm.
trip with Bishop Cooper. Me and Emery was on a trip with Bishop Cooper, and it was a full gospel trip. And this church, this black church, flipped this song and made it sound so good, and it became one of my favorite songs. And my
Mm-hmm.
praise and worship leader at the time forced me to like think outside the box. And that challenge made me more money. It got me more
Mm.
connections. I was on stages I never would have thought I would have been on just because I opened my mind to it don't have to be the black gospel sound. And when they call me, I can just do what
Yeah.
I do because that's what they call me for. I don't have to dumb it
Mm-hmm.
down. I don't have to settle. But um, it was Albuquerque. It still is home. Like it's one of my homes. I still have people there I could call. Um, I can go back and things I put in place before I left is probably still going on. Um, and it made me recognize connections is sometimes better than money. Who you can connect people to and who
Yeah.
you
For
know
sure.
is better than money sometimes. Because every door I walked
Yeah.
in, it wasn't about money. It was about, hey, I know this guy who does this, and you need this. Here you go. You got to shake hands. All right, I'm out of it. And that relationship just bloomed, and it's been done for me. Of just, somebody needs this, and you're good at it, so here you go. And it's like, wow,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
You know,
And then I
sometimes
left.
we do limit ourselves to the people that we know,
Yeah.
to the church that we know, to the
Mm-hmm.
sound that we know, to the group that we know,
Mm-hmm.
and we depend on them for elevation or to be pushed. But if you're going to do anything, I don't want to use the word big, but if you're gonna have any kind of impact,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone, outside of the people that you know, outside of your church, outside of your group, and go for it. Like you have to go
Mhm.
for it. You can't be disappointed and live in disappointment with the people that you know that don't support you.
Mm.
Find somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
That's
Yeah.
good.
somebody told me, man, every time I look at you, man, you reinvent yourself. I'm not going to let you mold me. I'm not going to
Yeah.
let some little group of people mold me into their image and be stuck at the limit of their opinions of me. I'm going to remake
Mm.
myself. I'm going to find me a side hustle. I'll grab a camera. My first instrument were drums. I'll get some drumsticks and reteach myself how to play and move on before I allow myself to be stuck at the station
Mm.
of people's limitations for me. I refuse to do it.
Yeah. That's
You
good.
know,
That's good. Okay.
sometimes we create things for our friends and family to support, not thinking there's a whole world out there of people who have
Yeah. For
no
sure.
There
clue of who
is.
you
Yeah.
are, and they
Yeah.
love what you do. But we're looking at,
Yeah.
Yeah.
my friends, my family, they ain't liking my stuff, they ain't sharing my stuff. They know you, and
Mm-hmm.
they might think like,
Right.
man, I liked and shared the last 15 things you did. Like, leave me alone. But the people that never heard of you are like, wow, this is fresh, this is new, this is amazing.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so I'm very careful. I don't look at did my friends buy it. I don't care. It's like I said, it's not for
Mm.
Texas. It's for I've never been to Utah. What if somebody in Utah email me and say, hey,
Right.
can you and this lady
How
come
about
do a
that?
Right.
workshop? Can you like Donald Lawrence right now is in London doing a choir workshop. That is so amazing to me. I
Wow.
love
Yeah.
that. That like I look at
Yeah,
Todd.
that's dope.
It's great when he's in the city, but that dude is in Africa all the time, and it's like, yes, that's what
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Let me go somewhere
Mm-hmm.
where they worship different, they value gospel music different.
Yeah.
I want that experience, and so I don't know why me, but like you said, I've been beating on stuff since a kid. I still love the drums. I taught myself to play around in C sharp on the keyboard. Most of my friends sing or play or act or do something. So it just seems like, why not you? If you don't use this, then something wrong with you. That's what
Yeah.
it feels.
Why
Uh,
not to? Yeah.
no.
Hmm. I remember Fairs, I think somebody said something about they want to start a podcast or something of that nature. And then I think they had asked, like, will you listen or will you tune in? Ask like general. And I remember you posting on there and you said something to the fact that what you just said, like basically like who cares if they don't, there is a billion people out here that
Hmm.
have never
Mm-hmm.
even heard of you that will listen. And so when you said that, I was like, wow, I never thought about it like that. Like yeah, Jasmine, because I get intimidated sometimes about some of the stuff that I want to do, like for instance this book, and like you said, you just get so close minded, the people that your family, your friends, your church, this, that, and the third. But like you said, what if it comes out and somebody reads it and then they give it to somebody and they live and clear across the world and like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, this girl. And so, and that I think that just strikes a chord with me every time it's said, every time it's thought about, because you really sometimes you don't think like that because you're thinking of where you're confined to, like Rockford, Illinois, you know what I mean? But there's a whole
Hmm.
world beyond just the city that you live in. And so I think that's amazing to
Yeah.
have that type of mindset. And I guess being an entrepreneur or being in ministry or doing whatever you're doing, you have to have that type of mindset that it's bigger than the city that you're in, it's bigger than the people that you know.
Mm-hmm.
And um it needs to there's someone out there that you don't even know that it's for, and it needs to
Yes.
reach them. And so I think you have to have that mindset going forward with whatever you're doing. So I love that.
Dad,
Yes. Because you
Dad
can get your
has a
feelings
saying.
hurt on a local level.
For
You can really
sure.
Yeah.
get your feelings hurt on the local level. Because locally people have their picks and chooses.
Mm-hmm.
Support, support, support. This one, no, I like this one. I don't like this one, or he's hometown, or who
Mm-hmm.
they think they are, and blase blase.
Yeah.
But you have to keep pushing. And even when it comes to podcasting, Ferris was at me about it. You was talking about doing it. And Ferris was like, "Dad, you should do this. You should blase blase." And I'm like, I don't know. And then the thought hit me: to podcast, that's going to go around the world. You'll never know who's going to see it.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
not just for the 100 people that faith walkers. It's not just for them.
Mm-hmm.
God bless them, and then many of them, they support everything I do. If I say I'm gonna stand on the corner and sell buttercup cookies, they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
stand right with me and have the milk. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
and I appreciate them. And then there are some people, no matter what you do, they're not going to give you,
Yeah.
the support that you need.
Yeah, for
But the
sure.
wonderful thing about podcasting, you don't need a local group.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice
Hmm.
to have them, but God can take the what you do and the things that you talk about and send it around the world.
For
That's the
sure.
genius of and the blessing I think of social media, is that it is not a local type deal.
Yeah.
And I mean, one person can share this podcast
Yep.
and boom, it's over because you're one person away
Yep.
Yeah.
from your next thing, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Local for me, local is for practice. I practice for local.
Mm.
That's
And
good.
I get to try things locally because locally they get
Yeah.
tired of you. There's always another act, there's always another drummer, there's always another singer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yep.
always, oh, did you see this person on YouTube? Like, oh my God, like there's always another one. But
Hmm.
Yeah.
to somebody else, you're that new fresh sound, you're that new fresh look. So
Yeah.
practice locally. Jasmine, to me, one of the you were in your groove when you were praise dancing. When I look at you when you're doing praise dancing, I thought
That was
that would have took
amazing.
you everywhere. People would have you would have lived in Rockford, but you wouldn't have been home often because you could have went around and
Mm-hmm.
taught
Hmm.
people what you did, how you studied, incorporating sign language. I've seen praise dancers that the music come on, all they doing is pointing at people and like, what are you doing? Like the wig falling off. Hey,
Right.
just go
Right.
ahead, cut the music. It's offer time. Stop. But you and the people that you had, you guys were amazing. And every time I looked at you, I was like, man, if you like dig into that, you will live in Rockford, but you will be gone. People will be calling you. You can
Hmm.
write books on that. You can write workshops on praise dancing because I thought you were really that was it for you. That was your thing. And then you got away from it for whatever reason. But even still, I thought like, hey, instead of going to the gym, like turn some music on and praise dance. You know how much weight you're gonna lose? It's gonna be crazy. Then you're gonna get it back. You're gonna everything is gonna come back, and somebody needs
Mm-hmm.
what you do. The church these days is all about arts when it comes to worship. It's flags, it's dancing, and you already had it. And I thought people would have really came in and like sought you out, and it would
Mm-hmm.
have been, Chicago, Milwaukee, and then before you know it, you in Louisiana, then you here, then you there. People would have just, you would have took off and all over the world. You would have needed a passport, and you just would have been gone. So I thought that was your thing. You looked passionate when you did it. Y'all ain't smile too often. I asked questions, how come y'all don't smile when y'all dance? Y'all had that look on y'all face, but
They were so serious, wasn't
Gotta be serious. Bring it in. Mm-mm.
they? I put a
But
like
thank you,
last
Fairs.
month.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He's right. I concur with every word. I uploaded a video of y'all doing the clean song.
Mm-hmm.
It's on YouTube. It's getting hits right now.
Mm.
And
wow.
if I'm looking for the video that y'all did, Melodies from Heaven, when we were in the on Henrietta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for that video. If anybody watching this has that video, send it to me so I can upload it. Because
I
those
think
were,
um I
man,
think I gave you the
it was
song
amazing.
Speaking to the Atmosphere. I gave you that song. That
Yeah.
almost tore Faith
Mm-hmm.
Walkers up
That
one
was
day.
great.
And yeah,
Yeah,
it was y'all
mm, that
whatever
was
you
yeah,
did to prepare yourself to show your team, you had it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you seriously
yeah.
had it. Um and I think it's still in you. You gotta want that. So the thing about being an artist is you are sensitive, but you can't let people tell you no and you fail. When I had my R&B band,
Mm-hmm.
we would practice and practice and couldn't book a gig back in Albuquerque. But I took no for
Mm-hmm.
not yet. And then we got to a point where I didn't have to call nobody. They
Mm,
was calling me. And we made a decision. Y'all feel like doing this big? Like, oh no, I'm gonna spend time with my kid
I'm
this weekend.
preaching
All
that.
right, when we tell somebody, right, we'll tell them no. So no is just not yet if you
Not
want to
yet.
keep
Yeah.
going. Yeah. And sometimes you
Yeah, I
need
like
that
that.
not yet because you have to keep like getting that gift, getting that talent. Um, I have a
Yeah.
pet peeve when I go hear live bands and they sitting down reading words on their phone, and I paid to get in. Nah, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I don't need that. So, but put on a show for me. I want to be entertained. I mean, you can't be Beyonce, but try. You ain't got to sound like her, but you can dance. You can put some steps together. Don't just stand there and sing boring music to me. Like, and you sound like the radio. You didn't do nothing to put yourself into what you're doing. That's what sells is you put you in it
Mm-hmm.
because nobody's going to be you. They can
Yeah.
try, but they will absolutely
I'm
fail.
gonna start me a
Uh,
band, man. I'm gonna sing.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Come
sing. I'm gonna
on.
go sing R&B. You know what? I'm gonna go sing. I'm
it's
gonna do
going
that.
to be
Let's sing
called
some R&B,
And
baby.
I'm
arthritis
a, and
and the
baritone.
Bengays.
every time.
Arthritis in the Bengals. That's what it's gonna be. You're gonna get out there. Oh, my back. It's just gonna be done.
Let me tell you something. I'll pack it out. The
Come
OJs is 70 and
on.
80 years old, and they had a packed house on Friday night. Packed. So
and and
old
imagine
people
if
know
one of the
how to party. Y'all young people, y'all go wearing your drip, and then you get mad because something on your gym shoes, and party's over. You
well,
want to hang
imagine if
out
one
with
of
the
them OJs.
old people, the senior people.
What's gonna happen is their teeth
Mm,
gonna fall out, and the night gonna be over with. Cause I'm gonna be dead on the floor. They got to
not
And the
come get
old
me
people gonna
somehow.
say, "Pick them up, put them back in your mouth, wrench them off, and put them back in your mouth. Finish the song." Old people don't care.
Get it
I'm
out.
gonna take mine out too. Yeah, we gonna be all
I
together.
cannot. I cannot.
You seen the
I
video
cannot.
that there's a pastor had a microphone in his hand and he was praying or preaching. His teeth fell out. He caught up. It was. I was like, hey, service
Right.
over. Everybody just go home. It
Put
ain't
them
even no
back
offering
in.
today. No,
Cut.
no,
Depending on see who
no.
you sit
Like
next to, church will be over though.
no. If that would have been slime
Cut
in
it.
that teeth, like it.
See,
Nope. Church is
this,
over.
y'all done, y'all done got out. Y'all see what's wrong with my family? This is what's see my family right here. See this? See
oh
you see
my.
what's wrong with my
I'm gonna
children?
have to go look for that
Me.
video, Ferris.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not gonna be no
they
good.
out there.
I'm not gonna be no good. I've had something
Baby.
happen to me at New Hope in Albuquerque. The praise and worship leader pants fell down. Oh my God!
Oh Jesus.
I dropped my
I would have been
stand.
done for. I would have been done.
Oh, I'm like,
Y'all bow
oh,
your heads. Pray for my children.
oh,
Please
we
pray
were
for them right now.
done.
Jesus.
And
Bow your
man, it
head.
was I
Just bow
was
your head.
Jesus.
and Emery was on the keyboard, so you know we ain't got good sense. It was like he
Oh
stopped playing.
no.
I got the stick. It was just like, yep. Don't even worry about it.
Oh my
God be
goodness.
with you. Y'all go ahead, go home. May His
My
peace be with
God.
you.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yep.
May His
So,
peace be
Ferris,
with
when it
you.
comes to today's musicians, um, what are your thoughts on the generation that's coming up behind you as far as
Oh,
musicianship?
Right, Shanika.
um, everything now is look at me. And
Mm.
I think that is a very dangerous place, especially in church. I'll only speak about church. Everything is look what I did, look at me. I shouted to people, I'm gonna do this. And I've been trying to tell musicians, you need to really study Lucifer. Study like what happened, what got him put out. And that's a dangerous place to be in
Mm.
God's house. And every drummer want to play Rain on Us on Sunday morning. Why? Like why? Why do you need a drum solo on Sunday morning? Why does a keyboard player need oh, I did this, I'm gonna shout to people. Like I would rather play Alpha and Omega and the church be through or him over something that gives me a solo. I'm so uncomfortable with that. But that's just my thinking. I think nowadays everything is a show, but the church is a show. A lot of churches is a show. It's dark lights, it's cameras, it's
Man, I'm
smoke,
so sick of
it's
it.
it's
I'm sick of
lights.
it, bro.
And I, when I was a kid, Dad, um, my mind made up. You remember that song? The intro was the
Mm-hmm.
drummer. I thought that was amazing, but he had the intro, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
These days, they want the
Mm-hmm.
intro, they want breaks, they want a nice outro, and it's like, man, we trying to focus on us, and we ain't even worried about the Holy Spirit. We ain't worried about
Mm.
um, somebody needs to be healed. Somebody was thinking about killing themselves, and they came in this church looking for something, and all we gave them was a concert.
Mm.
It's a
Mm.
shed session.
My God.
It's I'm not the biggest fan of um, play it like the record, play it like the CD. That makes no sense to me. To me, that's like me saying, "Hey, Dr. Center, I heard this message from Bishop Jakes on YouTube, can you preach his sermon word for word? You have every right to look at me like, what? Boy, I smack what? Like that's insulting
Smack
Mm,
to me.
five.
That's very
Mm.
insulting. Play this just like the record on Sunday morning. Like, and you not
mm,
the artist? Why would we do that? Because that means I didn't listen to the words. I just learned my part, and that's it. So you didn't spend time with the song. You have to minister something you don't know. And I think that's what our church is now. All the video clips is we shouting, we bumping, it sound good. Is anybody there? Why you shouting is like what's happening. And um, I understand the need for it as far as musicians setting their camera up, but I don't want to look at you. I don't want to see what you're doing. I want to see the whole. Show me the whole band. Show me the choir. Um, I heard the music that sounds good, and then I've heard choirs that's or praise teams that sound awful. But the musician is saying, "I'm a producer. I wouldn't hire you. Everything sounds bad except for you. So why aren't you doing what you do
mhm.
at your local church? Why would I hire you? And if you say that's not my job, once again, why would I hire you? You got to
Mm.
have some type of input. So it's to me we're in the state of church as a whole is in trouble, and it's because of inspirational speakers and motivators and musicians. And that's just my opinion.
Mm.
If we got back on track,
Mm.
if there was more preaching and teaching and getting understanding, and musicians wasn't playing for them to be seen, it we would have better church. People would probably come back to the church because now I can watch a whole
Mm,
service in my bed from whoever I want to see it from. I can watch these people's music and these people's
Mm.
sermons, and I ain't even turned over yet. I just turned my phone on. I'm good. But there's going into the building has lost something, and
yep.
it has to
I
start from the
agree.
top down. It has to start from the top down, and musicians is up there. It's a part of leadership, and so I think we're young guys are really talented, but there's nobody older keeping them in check. That's the big issue. Nobody's older on the organ or keyboards turning around saying no, don't do all that. Stop. It's oh yeah, like yeah, that sounds good. Like it's offering. Why are you doing all that? Like what are we doing?
And some of them don't play the song; they play around the song. Like, don't just play around the song. Because a lot of people don't know I was a musician. I was a church musician for a while, for a long time. That's how I kept money in my pocket way back in the day. $35 this service, $35 that service, $50 that service. But I knew hymns, and I knew,
Hmm.
I knew, the church songs were just some chords, you put them together. But you played the song. You didn't play around the song, and a lot of the younger musicians don't know the hymns. But they know bump. They
Hmm.
know, and
Yeah.
it bothers my spirit when you on the social media platforms, and all you see is the church dancing. That's like the church has been reduced down to this is all we do.
Mm.
And at
Yeah.
this point, it's not black church, just the black church. It's all the churches, even Caucasian
Hmm.
churches, so called, are getting into the act. They dancing now. I mean,
Yeah.
where are
Yeah.
we? Where are we with this? What is the point of this? I'm
It's
not really understanding. And it's three people in
it's
church, and all three looking.
Not three.
There's three people
it
dancing and 16 musicians. It makes no sense. And the church budget is strained trying to pay everybody they 150 for the gig. And that gets on my nerve.
it's church
But anyway, I'm
entertainment
just
now.
old.
No, it's definitely church entertainment. Like in it started from somebody has to say no. And the only person musicians listen to is the pastor. But the pastor has to like he got to put his foot down. She got to put their foot down and say no. Um, that's not what we're doing. Now, you can still be musical, but there's a musician
Right.
I know that when he plays, you don't know what he's playing until the people start singing. Won't establish the song when he starts playing, nothing. But it's just like, who lets him play? Who's responsible? Are we
Mm-hmm.
okay with saying, to a musician, you can't have your way, and if you're going to walk out, I'll open the door for you while you carry your stuff out. Well, you're going to need me. I got tracks I can play until I hire somebody else. Um, we need music. Today, my church didn't have any music. Our MD is his wedding anniversary. And so our bishop's like, hey, musicians, y'all got the Sunday off. They still had service. It was still packed. He still preached. And if he needed to, he would have got on the keyboard. But with a lot of freedom comes a lot of responsibility. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of musicians have freedom, but they don't have responsibility. It's just come to rehearsal,
Mm-hmm.
sound like this and sound like that. Um, yeah, that ain't it should be played out. But when we go on YouTube, you know who's dancing every time the shout starts? The pastor is.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not, the pastor, the prophet, the evangelist, the this, the that. Once again, I've seen Alpha and Omega and hymns, and for every mountain do more in the service than I ever seen a bump do. Than I've ever seen,
Mm-hmm.
the hit song that everybody wants to play. I've seen those songs do way more. Excuse me. And I've seen musicians like fall to their knees playing those songs. Get off your instrument and just fall to your knees. But does the church want that? That's the question.
No.
You know, is my job in jeopardy because I didn't play because I was worshiping God? Are you gonna look at
Mm-hmm.
me? A lot of times, like even if you prayed for the whole church, you know who don't get prayed for? The musician.
Mm-hmm. The musicians. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so it's if there's something happening, if there's deliverance, if there's prophecy, who really gets talked to and is on point, the musician. So sometimes we're hired, and if I'm just hired, then don't look for me while you're preaching. That ain't my job. My job, like that's my break now. You start preaching, I'm going to the bathroom, I'm going outside, I'm gonna eat some candy, I'm gonna probably talk to a couple of altos, maybe some sopranos, but that ain't my job.
Mm. That's interesting.
So if you hire me just to play the drums, then I'm gonna give you what you hired me for. But I take investment in the church that I'm at if I like the church. So some churches can hire you, but they can't preach. And Dad, when that happens, I'm on the phone. I'm calling you like, man, look, this joker. So I
Yeah.
Hmm.
Very
where
well said.
musicians
That's
are
a
Right.
lot of wisdom, Ferris.
where musicians are these days, it's because of the pastor. It's because of leadership. Somebody said it was okay, or somebody's afraid to say, you're not going to do that at this church. Because if
Mm.
you hired me,
Yeah.
then
Because
if
it
I'm
goes back
paying
to
you,
they
you
need
give
them.
me what I asked for. Yeah. But Dad uses it every morning. There's an app that plays music. See the I hope he's a millionaire a few times over
That's
because
one
what
of the
he's
best
done,
things to going, bro.
man,
Yes.
look.
I use it. I
Yeah,
use it when we're in the building. I was using it. One of the
yeah,
man, look, yes. I
yeah.
love
And
hoop triggers. If you're a pastor struggling with it without a musician, get you a hoop trigger and plug it into your system and go. You don't have to be at the mercy of a musician, man. You don't have to do that.
mm-mm.
Mm.
and I'm
Mm-mm.
and I'm a musician and I agree with that. Like if all you can give me is playing it like the CD, I can replace you for a couple of dollars. You're not worth a couple of
Yep.
$100 every week. If all you can give me is playing it like the CD, you didn't give me any creativity. And by creativity, I don't mean a long intro, all these hits, and a long outro. No. You should be a DJ in your mind when it comes to gospel music. There's no medleys, there's no songs you can fit together. There's no, you took this music, but you're doing this song. I would just be like, oh, this is what y'all giving me? You ain't got to come back. Hit play. If you only want to sound like the record,
Mm.
somebody's done that already, and I can buy it for
Mm,
cheap instead of paying you a lot.
mm-hmm,
Hit play. And it sucks as a
I think
musician
DJs are
that
gonna get a
I
church, gonna
look
get
at,
church jobs.
man, they should. They should. I've seen a DJ and a drummer kill a club, a DJ and a drummer. So I'm sure they can do it at church. So why not invest? There's a church I like to watch called Spirit of Truth in Atlanta. When I hear their band, it's amazing. It's like, wow, y'all put time into what you just did. A lot of musicians don't do that. A lot of churches don't do that. And I don't know if they come together or not, but that's the state that I think musicians are in. It's we're going to get put out of church. If church starts getting serious, we're going to get put out. And I think the
Hmm.
mm,
Holy Spirit and God is going to be upset with a lot of musicians because we want to focus on us instead of the service, instead of what we're here for. And that's a dangerous place to be in. Want people to notice you and not the Holy Spirit. That's a dangerous place to be in.
Yeah.
mm,
The job of the praise and worship leader, praise and worship team is to bring us into the presence of the Lord and
mm-hmm,
then leave us there. And you get out of the way. You stand to the side, you get back. But when anytime we're trying to take credit for what the glory of God, that's a dangerous place to be,
Mm-hmm.
and to be to be in. That's a dangerous mindset. And to have the
Mm-hmm.
mindset that without you, the church is not going to make it. The church is not going on. The pastor can't preach. That's not good. The church will go on without the pastor. They'll
Mm-hmm.
just declare the church vacant, and they'll have a meeting and they'll pray and get some resumes and hear pastors and bring in another one. So if the church can go on without a
Mm-hmm.
pastor, the church can go on without a piano player and a musician and a drummer.
mm,
They'll do what they do until until some of the most powerful times that we've had of recent years has been without musicians.
Yep.
Like it was just pure Holy Spirit. There was nothing motivating us, nothing manipulating us, nothing moving us, but the Spirit of God. And I absolutely loved it. Just absolutely loved it.
Well, that one of my favorite scriptures talk about when the musicians and singers are as one, and the cloud fills the room, and the preacher can't
Yes,
preach.
sir.
oh
That
yeah,
Mhm.
that feels amazing
mm-hmm.
when that
That
happens.
glorious, oh
I think
I
Jesus,
love when
that's
that
that
there was a
glory
happens.
right
time
there.
there was a time on Henrietta. Um, Mark was there. Mark was on the organ. I was on the drums, and we started playing a hymn. And that hymn went to
Hmm.
another hymn. Arnez was singing, like people were just singing, and we leave one hymn and go into the other one. And you just sat back
Hmm.
and just let it happen. And we was done. Like that was
Hmm.
it. Like nothing else needed to happen.
Hmm.
It wasn't, we wasn't, it was just a hymn from
Hmm.
one hymn to the next hymn to the next hymn. And the church was just through. That means so much
Yeah.
more to me than,
Yeah.
all right, y'all, we
And
gotta get this intro. We gotta do like, that don't matter. It don't matter. Because we can sing perfect and people will do this. Good job. Good job. Because we ain't reached nobody. And that's
mhm.
terrible.
Yeah, that wasn't a point of it for an
Hmm.
applause.
Well, well, you know what kind of musician you got when another musician walks into the church. If your musician start doing more, you probably need to let him go because he's very immature. Another person walked in, and now I got to do more. I got to show off. That's immaturity. And I'm saying that as a 43-year-old man, but I've been playing my whole life. You walk into my gig or my service, I don't care. I just want my name spelled right on the check. That's all I care about. If I'm at a gig, if I'm at church, like you out there and I'm up here for a reason. Thank you for coming, but I'm not about to change or deviate from what we have going on. You're not that important to me. I grew up a Calvin Rogers fan.
Mm.
He can walk in my church Sunday. Oh, Calvin Rogers here, cool. I'm not about to, hey y'all, let's play this song. Nope, don't care. Because musicians, we sometimes you need a Sunday off to go get refreshed somewhere else that you don't have to work. A
Hmm.
lot of them don't do that. They always want to work. They always want to be. They want to be on. But what I learned about cooking is sometimes you tasting your food, and by the time you're done cooking, you ain't hungry no more. Get away from where you work and go sit somewhere. Just for a Sunday, just go sit and relax. Take the day off.
Yeah, I'll do
Mm.
that. I'll go and sit in the back of the church and listen because I need to be preached. I don't need to preach every Sunday. I need to be preached to.
Hmm.
You can't pour from an empty place.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
You
You can't
can't.
you can't preach from an empty place. You can't play out of an empty place
Hmm.
because you have the talent and the gift. If you're not filled with word and filled with spirit, you just playing from your fingers and not from the spirit. And I mean,
hmm
you may not think that we can tell, but we can because the
a
saying is
lot of
true. It's not
musicians,
Bible, but it's true. What comes from the heart reaches the heart.
yeah, and a lot of musicians are hurt. They're depressed. They got relationship issues. They got marriage issues, and now you got to go to church and no one cares. Just play.
They got
Sometimes,
whole issues. I mean, no,
yeah,
excuse me. Yeah.
that's true. That's true. You see the alto and the soprano talking, and
My
you're like,
God.
oh, like,
Mm.
oh. Or the pastor look at you like, oh, really? Like, hey man, you
That's what we're
gotta,
doing. Oh, okay.
yeah. So it's a lot of issues going on, and sometimes as musicians, I've been in a position where I felt like the leader don't really care. As long as I show up and do my job, they don't care that I'm going through something.
Mm.
Don't care at all. Don't
Mm.
care that I'm going through so bad.
That's tough.
I didn't even sleep. Like I said, sometimes we are the last ones to get prayed for. The last ones, if
Yeah.
we get prayed for.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
we had a good service. Thank y'all. And everybody walk out. And it was like, okay,
Mm.
like, well, I get depressed too. I go through, I have stress. There's aches in my body. I've played with toothaches and sick and all kind of stuff. And all you got was a look. And he's like, what's wrong with you? Like, come on. Yes, sir.
Mm.
That's
So
interesting.
it makes it hard. It makes it really hard. Um, when you, especially if you invest in the place that you're at, that makes it that much harder.
Mm. Yeah. Before we end our broadcast, what does that look like? A musician investing in the church that he or she is playing for. What does that look like?
Um, I think it's always different. I think when I was at New Hope, my investment was I was there all the time. So some of the things that I know
Gotcha.
how to do now, I I I did it at New Hope. Bishop Cooper had an
Mm.
issue with he would preach and take that microphone and wave it to the crowd, not thinking that the monitor's down there. So my investment was when he waved that microphone, you didn't hear nothing. You didn't hear feedback.
Mm.
My
Fixed it.
investment was, yeah, my investment was my band area was nice. My I increased my craft. My investment was every Sunday I went to him and said, "What you been listening to? What's on your mind?" And if it was something that he wanted to hear that maybe the praise team didn't know, I took them the music before service, and we went over the vamp just so when we come to this, now at least you've heard it. He's gonna give you the words because he's musical,
Mm-hmm.
but you've heard it.
Hmm.
That was my investment of my time. My time was the
I
most
love it.
important thing. Still to this day, my time is going to be the most important thing. Um, Making
Yeah,
sure the sound in the house is good. There are times I grabbed a broom and swept up some places that's not my area. So my investment was I'm tired, but I'm here. But
I love it.
I
Mm-hmm.
had a key.
Hmm.
I had a key. So there was at one time you don't notice that I was in a reggae band and they was serious reggae. Like um, you go to rehearsal. When I first started going to rehearsal, I was like, "Oh, we got to rehearse somewhere else because y'all ain't gonna be smoking weed all day with me up in here, and I gotta smell it." So I was like, "Hey, like y'all, why don't y'all come to my
The
church?"
pastor's son got contact.
Look, I was like, and it was f bombs and weed, f bombs and weed, and I was like, "Hey, we can go rehearse at my church." Now the f bombs and the weed, they're not a factor. But that's my investment is I'm going to put myself in a position where I feel okay, I'm good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
they're going to respect where I am. But it's also now, hey, Ferris always has a practice space. Cool. So each musician, if you have something other than playing invested into your church. My investment where I am now is helping the praise team and the choir with details, how to sing a note, how to do this. Hey, sound man, we're going to sound check like this now instead of this is what we sound check has been a rehearsal. Sound check is not a rehearsal. Sound check is can you hear this in the monitors? This sounds, can we add some
Mm.
highs to this? This is the mids are too strong here. So that's my investment now is I have a few things that I can do and I will be on the team. I don't want it all, but I will be on the team to help us go to the next level. So I think when a musician is invested, you make tracks at church. You go to the pastor,
Mm-hmm.
hey pastor, like especially if he's musical, hey man, what's on your mind? Like, let me pick your brain. What do you want for the music department? What do you want for this? What do you see?
Mm.
Can we do this? Hey, I think we need a guitar player. Um, when I'm not
Mm.
invested, I'm just there to get my check. I'll play these songs you
Hmm.
sent
Yeah, and
me,
that's pretty
give
much
me
what
my
it is.
money. Yeah. And give me
Mm-hmm.
give me
And
my
I'm
money.
out.
It's a transaction. That's all it is. It's a transaction. I just gave you this, you gave me that. Peace. But when I'm invested, I'm thinking about it. My time, my mind is on it, and I'm thinking about it. I want to be involved. I will always have ideas, even with your podcast. I hit you up. Hey, what you think about this? Hey, it's time
Yep.
to do this. Hey, you need a new
Yep.
picture. Hey, you know what? We could change the sound like
Yep.
this because I'm invested in it. But if I'm not invested in it, it's like I send you the numbers you
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
did, right? And it's just like, hey, well, when you do this,
Hmm.
you need to change this. You might want to do that because I want to be invested in what you got going on. Because to me, my name means a whole lot to me, and that's the key. My name
Mm.
means a lot. We used to say, "Make my name great." I got to do something though, because if you out there,
Right.
I'm out there, and if, they can't look you up and not see me, and they can't look me up and not see you. So you got
Hmm.
to be careful what you be doing out there
Beautiful.
at these OJ concerts. You better not be on camera twerking, Dad. I swear to God. I swear to God, you better not be on camera.
I ain't got no Freaknik footage. I ain't got none. I ain't got
Oh,
none. I'm good.
oh, Jesus.
Ain't no Freaknik. Ain't no Freaknik footage.
Oh my, oh my.
Man, thank you,
That's
Ferris.
that's
For
good. I really enjoyed you, Ferris. I love you
that
a
was
little bit.
good.
Thank you.
You love it.
A little
See
A
that?
little
bit.
bit. Yeah. He got a
Look at
little
my
bit of wisdom. He
kids.
got a little bit of wisdom. I love it.
How about
Oh.
that?
I got some gray hairs up in here too. I don't know if you can see him, but I got some. Got a
Okay.
couple of them.
Mm,
Oh.
You know what it is? I
your
still got my
future,
wisdom teeth too.
your future is right here, bro. And it's gray.
Uh-uh. No, no. I don't
Count your
accept that.
days.
I don't accept that. Mm-mm,
Don't be putting that on me.
mm-mm. No.
Great interview, Ferris. Thank you for coming on and joining us, giving us some of your wisdom. Again, let's tell everybody because I know more people had joined
Yeah.
where what your song is and where we can find it, where we can download, where we can you said purchase, where we can purchase it, all that good stuff.
Yes. So it's called "Release Your Victory," featuring Rosalind Jones. It is available every and any and everywhere you download or listen to music, iTunes, Spotify, whatever. It's available. Um, and I will say, for those of you that are interested in doing music, um, look into having a CD made. If you are interested in the money, the
Mm,
return, um, selling a CD
hmm.
is way better than a stream, and people still buy
Okay,
CDs.
okay.
Now, it
Mm.
take you can do like 500 something streams and make $1. But if you sold
Oh
500
wow. Okay.
CDs for a
Mm-hmm.
dollar,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
yeah,
Right, right. Okay, so that's why Pastor Mike Jr. always talking about buy his CD for 11, whatever he sell it for. Okay, gotcha.
yes,
Makes sense.
yes, yes. So even if you want to do one song,
Okay.
it can you can sell that song on a CD for $2, and it maybe cost you $1 to make. So
Mm-hmm.
you'll get a return on your money. If it's about the return on your money, look into selling CDs. People still buy them. They can still go stream your stuff, but people still buy. People still like something they
Mm-hmm.
can hold. They still
Yeah.
enjoy that. And then you might get to
Yeah, for
sign your
sure.
name. That's always awesome. Someone asking you for the autograph is
Yeah.
always nice.
Nice, nice. And how else can they reach you if someone views this and they, think like, man, I would love to have them come to my church for to do a workshop. How can someone reach out to you?
The easiest way to reach me right now is through social media. You can inbox me in a
Okay.
good way, and then I will vet you, and then I will give you my email.
Slide in the DM. Is that how
Okay.
Right,
y'all
in a
say it?
good
Okay.
way. In a good way. See, you see old people trying to be young.
Right, trying to be.
No, sir.
Y'all got one more old people
this
joke.
ain't this ain't the time to slide
You
like
got one
that.
more.
We
You
just
got one more joke. You got one more old people joke.
Yes. So reach me through Ferris Julian Center. I would love to just come talk to singers and musicians and just help talk to sound people. Just help. I can put a team together and come teach music. What I don't do, I have people around me that do it very well. So it'll
nice.
never be just me. I have a team. I'm like Kurt Franklin. I might write it, but I ain't gotta be the one to sing it. But I'll bring somebody that can teach
Nice.
it and play it and help. I think we all need help. When we get to a point to where
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
for
I
sure.
don't need that, then it's yeah,
Yeah.
okay. But
Right.
there's that one little thing that's missing that the person I bring might teach parts. I might hear that one little thing that 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 word or that phrase it makes sense now, or it reaches the back of the
Mm-hmm.
room differently. Um, so yeah, I study a lot of stuff like that of just how to present it better. Don't forget the
Yeah.
Julian Ferris Julian Center.
Okay, with the middle name.
How about that?
All right. Well, that's your second oldest.
That is him.
And I'm the tallest, and I'm the one with no kids. Like, give me all my credit. Yeah, I need that. I need that.
No one cares, really.
God is good, Jasmine. God, I prayed for this. God is good. You don't love him. I don't know why you don't love him, but he's good.
You don't love God? What's wrong with
Something
you?
wrong with him. There's something wrong with him.
All right, Jasmine. Well, your closing thoughts. How was your day? Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, Daddy. My Mother's Day was good. It was chill, with my children and with y'all hanging out. Ate good, took a nap, and all was well.
Very cool. Yeah, we had a great time at Ambiance. That's how you say
Yep,
it.
yep.
Restaurant
Ambiance.
today. Shout
Hmm.
out to Tisha Hannah.
Whoop whoop.
She's downtown Rockford, and the food was great today. And how they presented it was like second to none. That was a new experience for me. It was
Yes,
great.
yes, yeah. And the kids enjoyed it, which I was very
Yeah, your
surprised because
kids
they really
enjoyed the
picky.
food. That
They
like
are very picky. Yeah.
because Magi was like, there was like the food gonna be on one platter, and you're gonna get all these items on the platter. And Magi was like, "What? I'm not gonna just get a chance to pick what I want to eat. You're just gonna bring me something."
Hmm.
But he ended up like diving in. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So, and then thank you, shout out to Lady D for the interview today
Yes. Yeah.
and teen mothering
Oh
and all
yeah.
that. Yeah, 17. I was like around that age when I had my first teen parenting, man. It was something. So, thank you all for joining us tonight. We do appreciate it. And go out to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Center Group Productions. We'd love to have you be a part of our family. We'll be back next Sunday night at 7. We usually go an hour, but when the conversation is good, we just keep going because one thing about podcasts, you don't have commercials and
We
you can
gotta
talk
talk
as long
about
as
when
you
your
want.
next guest is, so I can give him a date and a time.
Okay. I'll send that to you, who the guest will be, and we'll go from there.
So, what are your closing thoughts? Or how would you say? How was your day? You said it was good, right?
Yeah, my day was good. We had a wonderful weekend. Um,
Oh yeah, the
um,
concert
yeah, we had a concert
out
and
here being young,
hmm
trying to be.
and
Why they
we had some
dressed alike
challenges
though?
when
They
we got
both
back
got on their
home. But
Adidas.
Yeah,
Both
I
y'all
know.
got on y'all
I know,
Adidas
right,
joints too.
Fierce? I know, right? When I went to dinner, I said, "Oh, we doing Adidas now? Ain't nobody. Oh,
thought y'all knew,
okay.
Just know
Hmm.
this now. If you start wearing a fanny pack, I'm coming to get you. I'm coming to get you.
bro. I'm gonna give me a fanny pack and some of them sandals with the vents in them and some white socks.
I can't.
I'm
No,
coming to get you. I'm coming to
no,
get you.
no. We ain't
Boom.
going.
Just know
Nah.
I'm coming to get you. Just know I'm coming to
Oh,
get
some
you.
loafers. I'm gonna give me some zaddy loafers.
Mm,
So who?
I can't. I can't. I cannot. I'm over it. I
Oh
can't.
God.
Help, Lord. Help today, Jesus.
Hey, I'm gonna stay
Nope.
young as long as I can.
That ain't the
Nope. I'm gonna
way.
I'm gonna start sending you pictures of Hulk Hogan with his fanny pack on. That's how you gonna look. That's how you gonna look. That's what I
Hey,
see every time I see a man wearing a fanny pack. It's Hulk
but I'm
Hogan.
gonna be cool because I'm gonna have mine on the side instead of in the
No.
middle.
So
I'm gonna have mine
no.
on the side,
Mm, mm-mm,
and I'm gonna let
mm-mm.
the buckle flap. I'm gonna let that flap and
See,
wear that on the side like that. Yes,
No.
sir.
Then you
and he
nope,
happy about
nope,
it. I can't.
nope,
My God, today.
As you age,
nope.
you have to keep a sense of humor.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm happy to have lived this long
I'm happy too.
and be
Thank you,
good.
Lord.
Be 65 here next year. I'm looking
Oh
forward to.
yes.
Not
Thank you.
like
You still
65
young.
is some magic number, but
Yeah, you still young.
I am very much still young.
Yeah, you too young for a
Yep.
fanny pack.
Mm-mm.
Just know. If I ever see a picture of you
It's
in a fanny pack,
style.
I'm gonna be at the door. It's not
And then I'm
style.
gonna give me one of them.
No.
What them sun visors? Oh yeah, bro. I got the vision.
Now you're doing too
Yeah,
much.
got the vision.
Mm.
The
Well,
fanny
call
pack
me that day
lives.
so I won't be seen with you.
Mm-mm.
Now I've been through
Then you're gonna
everything
have
you've
on
been through in
skinny
your life,
jeans
and you're gonna leave me now just it with a. You know them skinny jeans
and
ain't made right,
heels.
bro. They ain't made for big boys.
Them fanny packs ain't made right either. Them fanny packs is nothing but
Them
a
skinny
purse that
jeans
go
ain't.
around your hip. Don't do it. Do not do it.
Mm-mm. They cheating on the material with them skinny jeans though.
You ain't gonna be
Like
able to tie your
everybody don't
own
want to walk
shoe.
around with. Anyway,
Mm-mm.
Because you can't bend over.
Right. You start wearing skinny jeans. You
so
gotta wear
folks say,
shoes
what's
that
wrong
got
with fanny
Velcro on them.
packs?
Everything wrong with them.
Hey, Velcro shoes is good, especially the ones with the lights on the bottom.
Okay. Try it if you want to. Try it if you want to.
Oh,
Like I won't get
my.
lost in the dark.
Okay.
That is
All right.
so
Go ahead and try it. See what happened to you.
get lost.
See what happened to you.
All right. Oh, my goodness.
With your Adidas
Okay, so your
Good night,
day.
y'all.
suit on. Mm-mm.
I
I'm gonna
could
tell
start a new
Tremaine.
trend. Yes, love. Y'all ain't the boss of me.
Who
Who?
told you that?
All y'all kids, you trying to boss me. Y'all ain't the boss of me yet. Mm-mm.
Once you
I
hit
still got a
60, all
few
that
more
went out the
years.
door. It stopped when you hit 60. When you hit 60, then you ain't in
You hear
charge
that?
no more. You do what we let you do now.
That part, Ferris. That part.
And if you got a problem with it, you
Yeah, we're
take it
gonna
up with
talk about
Jasmine.
that. That's a podcast. Why do the adult children think they can run their parents' life after a certain age?
Good
This
night,
we're getting
Tasha.
ready to have a meeting on this. All right, podcast coming up. Family meeting. Why do adult kids try to run their parents' life when they turn 60?
It's
The
just the way
same
things
way
go.
y'all be trying to
You
run
know?
our life when we were in our 20s and 30s. Mm-mm. Nope. It's coming back to you now. Matter of
I don't
fact, you
be in
got too
y'all
many lights
business.
on. Go and turn some of them lights off. Why all them lights on?
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Good night, y'all, man. We love y'all. Thank y'all for joining
Love
Generation to
y'all.
Generation. I'm Johnny,
I'm Jasmine.
and that's Ferris. And Lady D is over there. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good
Peace.
night.